Welcome back to another Unturned video. In today's video, we're going to go over the new Unturned update. Now, this update hasn't actually released yet, but it is in the public branch, meaning that you guys can actually check it out yourselves as well. If you guys enjoyed this video and want to see more update videos, let me know in the comment section below. Make sure to drop a like, let's try to reach 200 likes, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's get started. Today's video is sponsored by Pine Hosting. Are you guys trying to set up your own servers but you don't have any clue where to start? Then Pine Hosting has you covered. Pine Hosting is very user-friendly and not hard at all to learn. When I started using my own servers for events or whatever, I had literally no idea how to do anything, but with Pine Hosting I learned quite shortly. They have locations all around the world and the pricing is also pretty cheap. What's more is that they also have a variety of games, not just Unturned. They have Minecraft, Rust, Valheim, Ark, and much more. One of my favorite features from Pine Hosting is the fact that you can use the plugin and workshop installer, where with just one click you would have plugins ready, and use code LDG for 30% off. And let's get straight into the video. So, in this update we're going to have ourselves all of these new buildables, which are the brick oven, the chemistry lab, the dye vat, and the workbench. And we're going to have the crafting completely changed. As you may see, the crafting is now over on the side, and down here you can see there's workstations as well. Up here is where you search your items, and over here you can select hide uncraftable and show ignored. So for example, if you would like to ignore something, you can just click on it, and on the right side at the bottom you can click here and it will go into ignored. So then if you select show ignored, it will show as well. So for example, if there's a crafting recipe you don't really like, for example making the blindfold, which for some reason is not, oh there it is, you can just click on it, ignore, and you would not be able to see it anymore. Now let's get into each of them and their purpose. So let's start off with the brick oven. Now basically what the brick oven is, it is mainly used for food. This is also a heat source, so meaning that you would be able to cook food. Now certain recipes require an enclosed heat source, meaning that it is what a brick oven is. A campfire is for example of a heat source, but certain recipes, as you guys may see, require an enclosed heat source, meaning that you require them to actually do it. Other crafting materials you would not need an enclosed heat source, but basically the brick oven is only used for food. After that we have the chemistry lab. Now what the chemistry lab is, it is used for healing. You would require chemical mixing, which is important for each of these. Something that is notable is the bandage. You require 2 bandages for a dressing, meaning that from now on you cannot be able to just run around and craft bandages instantly. The maximum you can craft is a bandage. Obviously then you would be able to find dressings, but you cannot craft dressings whenever you want. Something else that I notice is the med kit. I don't really think this makes a lot of sense because there's not really a huge difference between the suture kit and the med kit. So this one I don't really think it makes a lot of sense. And the adrenaline, morphine, and vaccine. Also, me personally, I've never really used them. Except for sometimes you require a vaccine when you're really low on radiation. But adrenaline and morphine, I literally have never used them. After that we have the dye vat. Now what the dye vat is, currently it is not showing, but what the dye vat does, this one right over here, is that you would be able to change the colors of certain in-game clothes. So for example, you would be able to change the color of travel packs, ponchos, and so on. It's not really anything that special. And the final one, the workbench, is obviously the most important item. So for a workbench you can also use this as a storage as well as a display storage, and you would be able to rotate just like any normal storage that there is in Unturned. But the main purpose of a simple workbench is obviously base parts. So for example, if we scroll down to the very bottom, all of the items that are saying that they require a workbench, you need to have a workbench in order to craft them. So sentries, safe zone radiator, oxygenerator, pump jack. Something that is interesting is that you don't need one for a horde beacon though, so that's kind of interesting. But for a generator you need it. For a desk lamp, which is a new item, you need it. For also crafting a brick oven you need it. So the first important item that you would need to craft is obviously the workbench. Over here we also have ourselves the recipe to craft a simple workbench, which is not really that hard to be honest. You need nails, 3 scrap, and 8 planks of any kind. So this actually uses nails, making nails somewhat useful now. But that is basically the purpose of a workbench. And for brick and metal buildables you also require a workbench. So you cannot just build a metal base out of nowhere without having yourself a workbench. You can still be able to craft yourself a normal wooden base without any workbenches or anything new. Something else that is important is that there's a new category for salvage, where from here you would be able to unstack items and you would be able to salvage literally anything from this section. So in order for you to craft a dye vet, you would require planks of any kind, sticks of any kind, and 3 cloth and 1 rope, making rope a bit useful as well. As for a chemistry lab, you require crafting 3 and workbench, and you require 2 sheets, 4 bars, 2 e-glass, 3 chemicals, and a blowtorch. I think the hardest one to actually craft is the chemistry lab, but the thing is, it is not really anything that important in my opinion. The chemistry lab only, as we mentioned earlier, the chemistry lab is only for medical items. The only really good item would be the dressing. I really hope that they would actually add more items when it comes to chemistry lab and chemical. For example, having a horde beacon, not being able to craft it that easily and you would require a chemistry lab. Basically, endgame loot would be really cool to see it being in the part of the chemistry lab as well. Over here, as you may see, it will also give you guys an indication of what you need, the ingredient and the product, and what it requires. Over here it will also tell you like how much more do you need. Something else that I didn't mention is that also chemical mixings are used for bounce charges and bounce grenades. I need to check if, for example, C4 need it as well, but no. Also, they were renamed to Rough Blast Charge. They are no longer called just a Demolition Charge. Oh no, never mind, it's right over here. Oh, actually, you do need chemical mixing for charges, and for impact grenades and sticky grenades as well. So you cannot actually craft C4 without having yourself a chemistry lab. Landmine as well. Oh, now they're all showing. I don't know why they weren't showing earlier. Alright, well. Now keep in mind this is still in the preview branch, so there may be some changes. Hopefully nothing that crazy though. I do like how it is right now. There's also some other changes, such as the lockers and the wardrobes had increased storage, and the suppressor for military is now also buffed. But that is basically the new workbenches. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys think that this update is a good idea for Unturned. I know that there's mixed opinions about this update, but me personally, I am a bit excited to see what it will bring, and I am a bit excited to see how it will do. Obviously, these changes are for vanilla, but I do think curated maps as well, the crafting system, DUI will change, so let's just give it a look really quickly. Let's install Rio de Janeiro Remastered really quick because I have literally none of them installed right now. Alright, we're in Rio. Basically, yeah, the crafting system is completely changed as well. Now, the thing about curated system, I think, is that everything is going to be in just one category. Oh, no, actually, no. Alright, that's really, really cool. Yeah, so basically the only changes is that for curated maps, the UI has changed. There's the ignored, the uncraftable, and the search as well, and they are also categorized. So the chemistry lab and all of that, they cannot be in here, since that is just for vanilla items only. What something would be cool is, for example, for Arid, it would be similar though. So for Arid, since there's like items such as toolboxes, military rewire kits, if they would also be the same way that chemistry labs and brick ovens and etc. are, I think that would be really cool to see as well. But basically that is it for this video, guys. I really hope that you did enjoy. Let me know what you guys think. Something that I would like to see in the future updates is that the skills are revamped as well. But that is it for this video. Now, I don't know when this update will roll out. Hopefully soon, since it's preview branch. I would assume that it's going to come out either this or next week. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.